Joining me here in the studio, we have Bas Kooijman, CEO and asset manager of DHF Capital. Bas, thanks very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So before we jump into the big topic at the moment, which is AI, what are financial markets doing at the moment from your perspective? What are you seeing that's really piquing your interest?
So at this moment, we of course see very interesting activities on the US dollar compared to the different major markets. But AI stays a very hot topic in our daily conversations with clients and investors.
So of course you can't get away from this topic at the moment, but when it comes to things like trading, how does AI make a difference there? How does it work?
So for us, it's very interesting that AI is a little bit of a buzzword or an upgraded word from algorithmic trading, which we already use for years in our business. We are trading for about 8 years, last six years professionally. And basically, we are using algorithms to help us analyze all that big data that's out of there. So we have been using that a very long time. The big difference towards AI is that algorithms are made by a programmer that doesn't change itself unless the programmer changes it, while AI looks like getting its own life, starts to make modifications and alternations to itself, which is kind of why also for us it's a daily conversation now to see how that can be used for the better.
So is that one of the big challenges you would say? And apart from that, are there any other key challenges you can see with this technology?
It's a very big challenge because it goes very fast. There's also technically still a very small group of the population that is already can call themselves a specialist in the AI sector. It's upcoming markets for just a few years. Algorithmic traders, we have a lot, but people who are really able to create and maintain AI are also the specialists you have to really source and look for.
And away from trading, looking at the broader economy and I guess the real economy as well, could you see this technology making everything a bit more efficient? How do you think it will work?
Yeah, I myself and also DHF is a very pro-technology company. And we see that there's very positive things that you can do with AI, that it will make a very big effect in the market in almost every job or almost every sector of the world is very clear to us. We see that some jobs might not even have to exist if you see how good AI is already getting in such a short time span. And that's positive and negative. So yes, maybe more efficient. On the other side, maybe creating also some problems in the job sector.
And for yourself as an investor and for us as who are retail investors, where should we be looking? Where do you think across the AI space, do you think investors should be putting their money? Is it the enablers? Is it the adopters? Where do you think?
Yeah, so my first feeling is that it might be a bit early to let your money actually be invested by AI or even by algorithms if you are not a programmer yourself and exactly know what your money is going to do and how your money is going to be used. So we personally really believe in that mix where AI and other technologies are giving hints, giving subjects, giving ideas. They are just easier in reading very big CPI reports and other bigger documents. They are quicker in giving conclusions. They give great ideas and advice to asset managers, but I would still invest my money with the person that actually makes that final end decision by pressing the buttons by yourself and not let it be fully automated. I think that we are quite a step too far by fully automating by AI.
And this technology is moving so fast. But how can the regulators make sure that everything's working fairly and as it should here?
It's going to be a very difficult thing to regulate. The first step is that you need to identify if this is used by AI or if a trading idea, for example, is created by a bot, an algorithmic bot, or if it's done manually. So there is already technology to see the difference between a manual order and an automated order. What can be done by regulators, by regulating brokerage firms, for example, that give us access to the markets, is to limit the amount of orders that can be done per millisecond, because that's how quickly they trade. It can be regulated or based on order size, based on percentage of your AUM, percentage of your AUM that can be automated, percentage of your AUM that still maybe needs a board decision to get the order in. It's going to be very difficult to find the right regulation and to find the right sweet spot that we let AI make our work more efficient, but on the other side still keep the human control and not have a stock market that a certain stock that not one AI but multiple AI tools jumped in at the same time, and you wake up in a certain stock being €2 while it was 50 yesterday. Just because AI thought it was a good idea to sell and maybe told his other AI friends to do the same. So these are really things where we have to look into from asset manager perspective. We have to make those rules within our own firms, but also from regulator perspective, we can see how far we can make this to avoid very crazy moves in the market happening.
And the last point I just want to finish with here, Bas, is we do a lot of work here on ESG and sustainability. Do you think these AI stocks, say, take NVIDIA, for example, do you think it can be considered a sustainable stock, considering how much energy uses a lot of these data centers use? What do you think? Do you think it can fit in a sustainable portfolio?
I think it does. On one side, of course, it needs a lot of resources. It needs a lot of energy, servers, data centers. On the other side, they are also really working on being more green. You see data centers that the roofs are full of solar panels, and diesel generators become something else than diesel to be more efficient in cases of power outages. So as long as we also keep working on that, it is also more efficient if a robot does something 24/7 than that 3 people drive their car to work to sit in an office with airco. So I think it will be very interesting to, at the end, measure what the output is of a certain person and what the output can be of an AI or algorithmic tool. And then the algorithmic tools might still be lower in emission than what people can do.
Bas, thanks very much for coming in and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you so much for having me.